Alright, good morning or good afternoon. So first I want you to go ahead and complete your Jumpstart silently and independently in the classwork section of your notebook. The question is, has anyone ever told you to watch your tone? What did they mean and how did your tone make them feel? So go ahead and pause the video, answer the questions, and press play when you are ready. Okay, so we're going to be reading a little bit of Langston Hughes today, and the skills will be mood and tone. How are we going to get there? We're going to watch the pre-reading video, which is the video we are currently watching. We're going to read and annotate Get Up Off That Jive by Langston Hughes, complete a graphic organizer. Then we're going to read pages 11 through 22 again to complete a mood and tone graphic organizer. And then you're going to finally answer the daily focus question, which is, how does figurative language contribute to the mood and tone of night? Okay, so you'll be able to answer this question by the end of the lesson. So we're going to start with some definitions, and you're going to have to write these down in your notebook. Starting with mood, you may already have this one. If not, be sure to write it down. Mood is the overall feelings or emotions that are created in the reader. So how is the reader feeling once they read the words on the page? Tone. Tone is simply the author or narrator's attitude toward the subject. So in this case, how is Langston Hughes feeling about the subject matter he's writing about? Okay, so make sure you have these definitions down. Here are some examples of mood and tone. An example of denotation, which is the literal or primary meaning of a word. So for example, thirsty, feeling the need to drink something. So that's the literal meaning. You feel the need to drink something. And the connotation of that, or an idea of feeling that the word invokes, in addition to its literal meaning, thirsty could mean desperate for attention from a boy or girl who you desire. So we know thirsty is feeling the need to drink something or wanting attention from someone. Just like snake, we know a snake is a reptile, but a snake could also be someone who cannot be trusted. So the connotation is an idea or feeling that a word invokes. So like someone who can't be trusted, rather than the literal meaning of a snake, a reptile. Okay, so here's some more definitions. Make sure you have all these down. So you should already have mood, tone, and jot these examples down as well. And if you can think of any more, write them down too to help you remember. Diction. Diction is word choice or connotation. So what words is the author choosing to use to portray a specific idea? And imagery, sensory details. We already know we learned this when we learned about figurative language, what imagery is. Stuff that the author writes that makes you see a certain picture or hear a certain sound, feel a certain sensation. That's imagery. Details is facts that are included or omitted. So details obviously make the story more juicy or a little bit more dry. Language, we already know figurative language, and there's also formal. We've talked about slang before, and academic language. So for example, he sat there like a rock. Okay. He sat motionless, or he didn't move. We see that this is a little bit more academic. It has some details in it. It gives you some imagery. He sat like a rock. He's being still. Whereas these are a little bit more dry and less academic, less details. Syntax is sentence structure. For example, I'm not going to read through all of these, but I hate her versus I hate her. Like, you know, the difference between the emphasis on your words. Sentence structure. How is the author writing the words to make you feel a different mood or tone of voice. So these are some important definitions. Make sure you have them down. And now that you have them down, you're going to go back and read and annotate Get Up Off That Jive by Langston Hughes. Once you read and annotate the poem, you're going to complete the graphic organizer, and it looks like this. So you're just writing text evidence, the tone or shift in tone, explanation of how I know. So how do I know that this text evidence displays this tone? And how does this make me feel, or what mood does it put me in? So once you have the poem in front of you, this is an example from, I believe, the first stanza. You better get some new jive. You better get some new jive. So when he's saying this, I can feel, as I read that, I feel that he's very aggravated, or he's not happy with whatever this jive is this person has. How do I know this? How do I know he's aggravated? Well, if somebody tells you, you better, most likely they mean business, or they mean like they're very serious in what they're saying. So if my mom tells me, you better go wash those dishes, I know I have to go do them. So this is how I know. If someone says you better, they mean business. Like if my mom says you better go wash the dishes, I know I have to go do them. And when I read that, how does it make me feel, or what mood does it put me in? I'm understanding or in agreement with what they're saying. So this is an example. You're going to go ahead and write 2 more, and then you're going to find where the author Langston Hughes shifts his tone. So you should know what a shift in tone is. If not, call myself or Mr. Mendoza over, and we will further explain what is expected of you for this graphic organizer. So if there are any questions, raise your hand. If not, go ahead and get to work.